Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. So this video I've been anticipating for some time now, ever since moving into my new house, and that's to do another house tour. Now, if you've watched my previous video, it's quite similar to that. If you're not, I'll explain it now. So we're going to be starting at the sort of, if we were to walk into the front door, I'm not actually going to show the front part of the house. The only differences with this is unfortunately due to the nature of where I am, I cannot show anything outside, so nothing out the window. It's all going to be shut. It's all going to be strictly inside, and that includes a garden. But just to give a bit of context to the garden, it's really like a quarter the size of my other video, and it's nothing crazy or amazing as well. And as you probably just saw then on the side of the camera, my daughter's going to be joining us, probably roaming around the house because she loves just going a bit wild and throwing things. So then what we'll do is we'll then come back to this video. I know. And we'll then come back and I'll talk about other things on the camera. So I'll see you in a sec. Let's get to it. Hi everyone. So this is the first thing you see when you walk in. I know it's like some weird grate. I don't know why there's one up there as well. I guess it's for airflow. I don't know if that's a really old thing. These houses are very old. So again, there's the front door. So quite standard little radiator. First things first, we have like this little electric box cupboard thingy. Don't obviously touch it, don't go in here, but it's a little bit of a storage area we've got. I don't even know what that is, but a tiny weeny little storage area that maybe you could put one or two things or decent sized things in there. Then we move to the sort of under the stairs sort of bit. So the stairs is actually at the back of the house. Now I don't know, obviously there might be houses like this in Civvy Street, but I never actually experienced it in my obviously Civvy life. So it's really like different for me having the stairs at the back, but we'll get to that in good time. So another actually decent storage area. I think this is where like the hot water boiler, not boiler, but like the tank thing, the tank holder is where it was. So now it's just a big storage area. Obviously smock and all the other good bits and bobs, and then obviously a coat rack, so all the good stuff, and then shoes and other bits like that. So if we move, well, that's the I know, nice Christmas tree. We'll get back to that in a sec. So we're going to the kitchen. So unfortunately, again, we have to put the blinds down. I do like having the windows, not windows, the blinds up, let the sunlight more in, even though it is coming in. But just to give you a concept of the kitchen, quite a more modern design. And one thing I like about this house compared to the other, it's a gas hob. It's a gas hob, so it needs cleaning, unfortunately. But gas hob, because the other ones, most of them now are like induction hobs, which I'm not a fan of. But yeah, so gas hob is not too bad. And then the actual kitchen itself, I wasn't too unhappy about. So obviously dining table, which we rarely use because it is really small. We're probably going to get rid of that soon. So this is just to give you a concept. The kitchen's actually quite a decent size. It's nothing too wild. It looks actually a bit smaller in the camera, I think. But just for people who are not aware, who haven't watched the other video, fridge and washing machine, you have to buy that yourself. Everything else, so including microwave, toaster, everything else other than just the tabletops and cupboards and stuff. So like in here, other things like that, you obviously that's all there, but the things inside and bins and other things like that you don't get. So just for the people who don't know. So then if we move around to here, there's another little storage area where we keep a bunch of crap, ironing board, some car bits and old baby stuff. So again, it's a little bit of a storage. This house is much smaller than the other one. So if we move into the living room, so this is actually the area that leads upstairs, which we'll get to in good point. Obviously, daughter loves putting her stuff there, and then back door. And then, so she loves bouncing on the sofa. We'll get to that in good time. But this is the actual living room. So we've got a bit of obviously Christmas theme going on, which is quite nice. So it's quite a decent size. I finally got like lampshade. The other house, we didn't have any. So that was quite nice. And again, unfortunately, this would have showcased out into the garden, but we can't because for the reasons stated before. So this is like an electric fireplace that I've never used. I always have this electric heater. It's pretty decent. It was like 50 quid off Amazon. So, but most of the time I'm holding, I'm sort of got a heating on anyway. So it's a little dump area. So this sofa wasn't there. So this sofa was bought recently. It's a big investment. I definitely recommend people obviously getting a mattress topper first and foremost, and then obviously getting a sofa when you can. But at the minute it's just sort of like a little storage area for the footrest, so baby stuff. And then I don't know what this is. I think this is my graduation? Yeah, it's my graduation thing. Laptop bag, all the other good stuff. And then this is my desk. So the actual desk itself was here. Obviously all the computer things, Wi-Fi, other bits like that is obviously not, and has loads of bunch of cables at the minute because we don't have anywhere to put. And a lovely little tree, because obviously festive season at the minute. And then it leads back into the hallway. So it's a bit of a weird one. It sort of has like two, you go through here and you can come back there and all this other stuff, which is pretty cool. But So yeah, the desk itself, obviously that was brought. So for anyone, again, I didn't say this in the first part of the video. Actually, I'll talk about it afterwards. We'll just crack on through it. So yeah, daughter wants to always be in a thing. Say hello, say hi, hello. No, she just looks a bit strange. Like, who's this weird thing in my face? So bookshelf, obviously that was us, and obviously the pictures, our own stuff as well. But that bookshelf was ordered as well, not I paid for it. Sorry, that was bought with the house. But again, I'll talk about that afterwards. So now we'll head upstairs. So baby gate, let me just whiff that out. So yeah, this isn't actually too bad. We have got lights up here, but I haven't got them on. So we're going. I don't think I actually closed any of these blinds, so I might have to just sort of work around this. So this is the bathroom, much smaller than the one before. It's all right. I probably prefer the other one, but you know, it's just one of them things that you need to sort of just get used to. It's nothing's ever going to be fancy. But we did have a new bath installed because when we got here, the paint was sort of ripping off. So again, hopefully I can scour this correctly. I haven't really scoured any rooms, I do apologise. But so again, we'll get to the master bedroom in a sec. So this is my daughter's bedroom. So again, I've got to try and keep the stuff out. The thing, actually, I'll stand at where the windows is and people can see it. So this is my daughter's bedroom. So this isn't, again, too bad. It's pretty decent size, obviously, for a kid, but this is a 2-bed house. Around moving there. So these houses do have this sort of like cubby hole storage area. So it's really small again. This is where you can hang all your stuff up. But it is what it is. You know, if you're paying £200 a year or whatever, or £200 a year, £200 a month, it's not too shabby. But again, if I can just scale it, it's quite a decent sized room, I'll be honest. The only downside is it's a 2-bed, of course. So if we then move into the toilet, so the only problem with this is exactly that's how small it is. So we literally, like, we're here, I step in, and then I saw my lovely slippers. Let me turn the light on, a bit easier. Oh, that is horrible. That's flickering. Let's not do that. It's not actually flickering, it's just flickering on the camera. But again, it's very small, so you could imagine me, who's a bit bigger, sitting down, and I'm just like sort of got claustrophobic stuck between the two. But you get used to it. It is what it is. Again, much smaller than what we had in previous times. So let's move on. So now we're moving into so this is an absolute mess in a minute because we just have nowhere to store anything. So this is like a really big sort of walk-in wardrobe. So it's obviously got all my kit and stuff, and it's all my normal clothes and other bits and bobs. But this is actually the bedroom itself. So again, I can't show too much. I probably just showed a bit then on the outside. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So let me just actually shut these curtains. I should have really shut my daughter's bedroom's curtains because I can do that. There we go. So this is our bedroom. Again, it's really hard to sort of scale up. And we've got another walk-in wardrobe, similar to like my daughter's room. It's a bit more again for my partner's clothes and all the other good shenanigans. So again, big Christmas present. So this is, again, it's quite a decent size for the bedroom as well. You've got a lot of walk around. This is actually bigger than my other room that we had in my previous house. If I was to shut this, turn the light on, so it's not just pitch black in here. So it's actually a very, very big size. I don't think the camera is actually doing it justice, really. So all cabinets are, again, including that desk as well. And in my daughter's room, all the wooden stuff is all been ordered when you move in. And again, I'll talk about that in good time. So that's really the house tour done. So what I'll do is I'll head back downstairs and we'll talk about more of the stuff behind it. And then, yeah, we'll conclude this video. So I'll see you in a sec. Okay, guys, so hopefully that video was helpful to us as much as it could be helpful. Obviously, granted, having the blinds shut and not showing the garden is a bit of a pain, although the garden, you're really not missing out on much. I can sort of say for that one. So just a few things before we end this video. I just want to talk about, obviously, some of the stuff that you need in order to get a house. So the first thing you need is obviously the conditions need to be met in order to have a house. Now, I did talk this in the other video, but I'll state in this video as well. So the first one is you need to be a a category or a PCAT, as they're known as. So there's 1 to 5, 5 being the lowest. Everyone who joins the military, regardless of age, regardless of your partnership, whatever, until proven otherwise, you'll always be at 5, which is the I think it's like surplus or whatever it's called. So what that means is, even if you're a 5, you can still get a house. It's just you are the sort of last priority. So if they've got no one of top priority, or even the priorities above it, and they've got empty houses, they will house people who maybe are doing the block, they don't want to be in the block anymore, and that can happen. So you just still apply as you normally do. So there'll be a form that you need to fill out. In order to get this form, just go to your HR, go to wherever you need to go, and they'll send it over to you, and then you basically sign up, and then you go through a long process of applying for a house. So that's really important. So the basic, I can't remember what all the categories are. Again, I mentioned this in the previous video. I can't remember what they all are, but I know for my one is Cat 2, which is obviously second to highest, because I am the main carer of a child. So because obviously my daughter, I'm the main carer. So my partner doesn't work. I'm the sort of, I'm a financial, how would you word it, provider, if you will. And they obviously live with me. Then I go automatically to Cat 2 once I can prove it. So the way I would prove that is through a birth certificate with my name on it. That's it. That's all the evidence they need. They'll send that to your HR and they'll update your JPA. And which is, for anyone who doesn't know, who's maybe not yet in the military but got family stuff, they will look at JPA is basically like your Facebook profile for the military in a nutshell. And then basically for anyone else, it's like Cat 1 is for married couples. Now, it used to be that sort of saying that you need to be married in order to get a house in the military. You don't need to anymore. You can be in an LTR, which is a long-term relationship. However, it's quite difficult to prove. I think like you need bank statements and stuff. You need to be, basically you have to prove that you've been in a relationship longer than a year. And you can't just say like, look, here's a photograph of me and her a year ago. It has to be legitimate in the sense of like, like having a joint account, you both be putting money in. There's like 2 or 3 bits of evidence you have to provide, or you have to provide 1 bit of evidence, or 2 bits of something else. I think for me, I've got that because we're not married yet. So I've got an LTR as well, hence why she can live in the house. And that basically means the way I did that is because I provided my daughter's birth certificate. And again, that's the 1 piece of evidence we needed. They were happy, they accepted that, and they obviously done the LTR. And for some people who don't have that, and there's a few other bits you can use, but it's like a joint bank account. I think that's the biggest one, and there's a few other bits, but I didn't dabble in that. I know some people who have dabbled in it a little bit, but there's ways of proving it. And again, if you guys are going to apply and you're in that situation, you will get there at some point. It's just a case of just reading what you need and maybe making the efforts to get to that. But definitely the big one is a joint bank account. So if you guys are in a relationship, you're not in the military yet, get a joint bank account and just start putting a bit of money in. I don't think it has to be a certain amount, but don't quote that on me. Just so you can use that as evidence, obviously, when it comes to it. So another thing is obviously before I move on, so like I said, I don't know about 3 and 4. I don't know what they are. I think one of them is to do with some form of disability. So if someone has a disability, and if you've got a partner, or maybe even yourself has a disability or an impairment, then that can obviously get you a house as well. But I think it's either 3 or 4. I don't know. So don't quite well on that. But the next part I wanted to talk about is obviously the furniture side. Now, for anyone who, like me, never had a house beforehand, it's actually choking me now. That's better. So who never had a house beforehand, didn't have any furniture, no bed, no nothing. It can be a bit daunting, I don't know what to get. But like I said, the main thing you need to get is a fridge and a washing machine. Now that fridge, I think was like a little over 100 quid new on AO, I believe. Might be a bit more than that, I'm not too sure. And the same with the washing machine. So fortunately, before I joined the military, I saved up a lot of money. I saved like over £1,000 and stuff like this. So we had enough, and we had help from family and stuff, so it weren't too much of an issue. Obviously a TV, it's more luxury, but it's nice to have, especially, I've always had my PC for years and years, so I had that anyway, but just to give a bit of entertainment and stuff. And then in terms of the furniture, so the way it'll work is when you go through the application, there'll be a part of the application, a step where you'll have to put what furnishings you want. So it's not just a case of fully furnished, half furnished, whatever it's called, and no furnished. You will manually select what you want. So you'll select double bed, coffee table. You'll select these certain, I don't know what this, like 2 times whatever sofa. The blue sofas, I've put them in my old video if you guys want to see what they're like. Not very comfortable, hence why we got this lovely comfortable one now. Then obviously the bookshelf, the desks, anything with that wooden style look, you could get that. You don't have to pay for that. The only thing you do have to pay for, is if you were to get the house fully furnished, and I'd always recommend people to do that, is because it costs about £10 a month to fully furnish a house. And that's everything from, you know, bed, sofa, desks, dining table, chairs, everything you put on there. A full furnished. I don't know when it becomes full furnished, when it becomes half furnished. I have no idea what the sort of conditions for that is. I've got the sunlight absolutely blinding my eyes. It's been like that the whole time. Let me just, there we go, that's better. I've been doing that the whole time, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, so anything like bed-wise, cot, my daughter's cot was from the military as well, and just other things like that you can get. And there's also, I didn't show the garden, but you can get gardening stuff. So you can get a lawnmower, you can get an ironing board as well. That's my own ironing board, but you can order an ironing board as well. I don't know if you could get an iron. I'm pretty sure you can't get an iron, but I don't know. High chair, I don't know if I showed that in the kitchen, but my my daughter's high chair, again, that can come with it. So you could get a lot of stuff, you know, and there's like small coffee tables that we did have, but that's been removed. We've had a lot of stuff sort of gone since we had this new sofa. So the other thing I'll definitely recommend is sort of the first investment from the fridge and the washing machine is to get a mattress topper. Now, you can get a double bed, obviously, from furnishing it, but it's a terrible, as you could imagine, it's really bad quality. We've actually got 2 mattress toppers. So we had one that sort of didn't get destroyed, but it got really stained, and I think we spilt something on it, and then we decided to get another one, and we just put them flipping over the top, and it's made it relatively comfy. I'm almost certain, well, in my opinion, my sofa is much more comfy than the bed, so it's tempting sometimes. But yeah, other than that, guys, in terms of payment, just to finish this sort of video off, payment-wise, you'll be looking, again, it all changes. If you're an officer, it goes up a little bit more, I believe. I'm not too sure, but don't quote me. Oh, someone's screaming. Apologies for that. So for me personally, this is a 2-bed house, and that cost me roughly around £280 a month in terms of rent, and about £140 in council tax. So, you know, if you do a sort of maths on that, it's about £420 for that in total. And then gas electric is, at the minute, it's just below £100. It'll probably go over during the winter time for obviously using heating and things. So again, you know, £500, whatever it is to have your house. If you have 2 of you working, you are laughing. So if you split that between each other, then, you know, you are laughing. But I do apologise for the crying in the background. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the video, guys. If you do have any questions that I haven't answered, please feel free to put them in the comments. I know this is quite a short run through one, even though it's been a relatively long video. There is a lot of stages to it, so if you do have any questions about how to get a house or what other houses are like, then please do ask them in the video, and I'll do my best to answer it. But until the next video, guys, I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.